Welcome in, Iowa Hawkeye football fans. I am Luke Meyers. Welcome into the Hawkeye Tailgate Report. A pretty interesting show today. It wasn't a pretty game this weekend against North Texas at all. And Iowa, the coaching staff, the officials, might have been the worst I've seen in a long time, but that can be a good thing as well because we still managed to come away with a 17-point win, although it might not have felt like it. Four things stood out to me in this game. Josh Jackson played great. Our third and fourth string running backs, pretty good actually looking at them. I know they're still pretty young, but Young and Kelly Martin did a great job in this game. I think Young had 78 yards and Kelly Martin had 2 touchdowns. So they really picked up the workload once Wadley and Butler both got hurt. Another thing that stood out was the lines on both sides for Iowa were not very good. The defensive line wasn't able to get any pressure on North Texas's quarterback, and their running back was able to do a ton of damage on the ground. But the offense was once again good enough to win, and they've looked fairly impressive on the season. Everybody's talking about the big Wadley play that was called back, the big 80-yard touchdown reception where he high-stepped 10 yards into the end zone. That's just the way he plays. I hope he doesn't lose his edge. The James Butler forced fumble, a lot of people are forgetting about that, where Stanley fumbled it, North Texas was running it back, but James Butler's effort really came through and got the ball back to Iowa without the North Texas offense touching the field. So great job by him. And without further ado, let's get into the game recap from North Texas. First quarter, Wilson gets a 1-yard rushing touchdown on the ground to take a 7-0 lead, and that is the third time this year in 3 games that Iowa has given up the first points, and they've trailed early. TJ Hawkinson for Iowa would catch an 8-yard tip touchdown. It was a bad pass and a bad read by Stanley, but somehow Iowa found a way to get a hold of the ball and bring it in for 6 to tie it up at 7 after the extra point. Moving into the second corner, our kicker Racinos was able to split the uprights with a 42-yard field goal, and he did that with ease. Iowa would take the first lead, but with like 11 seconds or so to go in the half, Guyton for North Texas had a 13-yard touchdown to retake the lead, and Kinnick Stadium kind of got drained of their energy as they trailed 14-10. It was a weird first half. Nothing really went Iowa's way the first 30 minutes of this game, but they were still only trailing by 4 for how poor they played. In the third quarter, Noah Fant comes through with the only score. He gets a 23-yard touchdown, and I think he was carrying 3 or 4 North Texas defenders all the way into the end zone. He was not going down. And then in the fourth quarter, Kelly Martin crosses the goal line to put the nail in the coffin and get a couple cheap stat-padding touchdowns, and Iowa would win the game 31-14. For Iowa, Nathan Stanley did his thing today, 16-27, 197 yards and 2 touchdowns. No interceptions, which is really nice to see. And it was a team effort on the ground for Iowa. They had a season high in rushing with 238 yards, and 6 players got in on that action. Noah Fant, 2 catches, 30 yards, 1 touchdown. Josh Jackson, as I mentioned, had a pretty nice day. The best in the defense by far. The front 7 for Iowa really struggled, which is kind of weird to say considering when you think of Iowa football, the front 7 on defense is usually one of the things that pops. But Josh Jackson had 2 passes defended, a blocked field goal, and he had some good punt returns on the day. And for North Texas, their running back, Jeffrey Wilson, had 12 carries for 95 yards and 1 touchdown. That's over a 7-yard per carry average. He did really good, and he exposed that Iowa defense, their front 7, and had some really big plays, including the touchdown. Now we will get to the interviews from tailgating for the North Texas game.
We're now with Brandon Gansan. How you doing today, Brandon?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great. So what'd you think of the Iowa State game last week?
Well, I thought it was way too close. Should have been a blowout, but, whatever. It'll happen as long as we got the W.
But it's a Hawkeye State, and that's the important thing.
Absolutely.
So where are you tailgating today?
Oh, we're tailgating over here at Melrose in Iowa City here. It's going to be a good time.
All right. Now, it's supposed to be like around 90 degrees today, and that can be pretty ignorant for a Hawkeye game.
I think the heat is going to bring minimal clothing from the female crowd, which isn't always a terrible thing. I mean, I wouldn't complain about it, so I'll just bear through it, and I'll enjoy the benefits.
All right, the Hawkeyes are 2-0 so far on the season. What do you think they finish at?
How many games are in a season?
12 regular season games.
It's gonna be 9-4.
All right. Well, that's 13. That's 13, but that's all right. But hey, thanks for joining me, and go Hawks.
Hey, go Hawks.
Thank you for staying tuned to the Hawkeye Tailgate Report. I am Luke Meyers. What's your name, bud?
Ryan
Ryan what?
Haas,
All right, where are you from?
Cedar Rapids.
Cedar Rapids. So what do you think of the Hawkeyes so far this season, 2-0?
First game, defense looked good. Second game, suspect, but we're 2-0, and I'm excited right now. Offense is looking better.
All right, so Nathan Stanley, this is only going to be his third game today, but he's looked all right in those first couple games.
Oh, absolutely. 8 touchdown passes, third in the nation in touchdown passes. Get a few more today. He's going to be up there. He's looking good.
All right, now there's only one Hawkeye ever to throw 8 touchdowns in his first 2 games. Who is it?
Chuck Hartley.
Chuck Long is
Yeah,
what we're
it's
looking for.
close.
That's all right. But
close.
what do you got going on at your tailgate here today?
Well, we made breakfast burritos this morning.
Yep.
Those are gone already, but we got brats coming up. Little sauerkraut, onions, little relish. So,
right.
we got a lot going on right now.
Okay, so where are your tickets after the game, or you just tailgating?
Section 111.
All right, what row are you looking at?
What row are we in?
111, row 35.
35.
35. All right, so what do you think the score is going to be today against North Texas?
I'm going to go Iowa 45, North Texas 17.
All right, I love it. Looks like the Hawks are going to go 3-0. But thanks for your time, and go Hawks.
Absolutely. Thank you. Take care.
Thanks for staying tuned to the Hawkeye Tailgate Report. What's your name?
Doug Althouse,
All right, where are you from, Doug?
Piast, Iowa.
Good old Dubuque County.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the Hawkeyes this season? They're coming off a big win last week over Iowa State.
Good teams find ways to win, and Iowa keeps winning.
Now, Iowa has a first-year quarterback, Nathan Stanley. What do you think about him?
Stanley is doing a fantastic job. For a young quarterback, I think he's playing awesome.
All right, so he has 8 touchdowns in his first 2 games. Only one quarterback in Iowa history has ever done that in their first 2 games. Who is he?
Chuck Long.
Bingo, first person to get it right on the day. But what do you think for the prediction today's game?
Today, I think it's Iowa football. I think it's going to be a close game. Iowa will pull it out in the end, win by 14 points.
Do you think the heat will play a factor?
Not with Iowa.
Not with Iowa? All right, so what do you got going on in your tailgate here today?
Hey, we got a big crew here from Piast today, West Dubuque.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone a Bobcat fan, I hope.
Oh, buddy.
But no, we got chicken, we got burgers going today. It's going to be a fun day.
Okay, so
Actually, we got a guy from Arizona here.
so
Mark Coyle, all the way from Arizona.
this is like winter for him.
It is. He said it's 20 degrees cooler today.
All right, well, thanks. That's all I had for you, and go Hawks.
All right, go Hawks.
All right, thanks for staying tuned to the Hawkeye Tailgate Report. I'm Luke Meyers. What's your guys' names?
Nico?
Nico what?
Nico Ruiz.
All right, how about yours?
Mitchell Pence.
All right, so obviously you guys are Hawkeye fans, which I love to see, but who's your favorite player on the field so far this year? Running back Akim Wadley?
Yeah. That's the only one I know.
Hey, that's all right. He's a big guy out there. So, did you watch the game last weekend? The Iowa State game?
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
It was good.
It was good? Were you a little nervous? Iowa was down 10 late in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. Well, what are you guys doing at your tailgate today? Just having a good time, playing some bags, eating some food?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite food you got going over there?
I don't know.
You don't know? It's all good?
The corn things that they put out in the front.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, that's all I got for you guys. Thanks, and go Hawks. Thank you for staying tuned to the Hawkeye Tailgate Report. I'm Luke Meyers. What is your guys' names?
I'm Parker. I'm Brady Swinning.
All right. So, you want to talk about football? What do you think of the Hawkeyes so far this season?
I don't know. It was pretty nice seeing them beat Iowa State. A little closer than I was hoping. But, hoping for a big blowout this week against North Texas. Not the most high-powered offense in the world, or defense, or team for that matter. But I'm expecting a big win.
All right. Next week we got Penn State, and that's going to be a really tough game. What do you think about that?
I'm just excited. I'm going to get to storm the field again.
Oh yeah, gotta love it. But so I was told you're the guy to talk to about tailgating. What's going on out here today?
We're just drinking some beer, having some food, getting to know everyone.
Now, here's a question for you. Does the heat affect how much you drink?
Absolutely. I drink about 10 times as much for every 10 degrees that the temperature goes up.
Got to stay hydrated, absolutely. Who are you out here with today?
This is my cousin. His name is Parker. Out here with my aunt and uncle. And then my girlfriend Lizzie's right over there. She's beautiful. And then we're about to head over to a couple other tailgates. Yeah.
So, predictions for today's game against North Texas.
42-0.
Woo! 42-0.
Damn, I don't know. I think you're underestimating the Hawks. I'm saying 62-0.
Oh my! Last time Iowa put up 60 points, they beat North Texas 62-16 in 2015. All right, guys, thanks. That's all I had for you, and go Hawks. Woo!
All right, ladies. So what are your names?
Jordan Vasky, Paxton Meyer, Alyssa Lady,
and Madeline.
All right, ladies. So we're here to watch North Texas versus Iowa this week. Who do you think is going to win the game?
Iowa. We have a 93% chance that we're going to win according to ESPN, so Hawks all the way, baby.
That's my uncle.
What do you think the score is going to be?
79 to 60. Stop. I say like 21-3. They get a field goal, but we have all the touchdowns.
Who's going to score the touchdowns for Iowa?
I say Wadley. I say Wadley. All Wadley, baby.
Wadley's going to score every touchdown. Okay, so were you ladies in Ames last week for the game?
Yes, it was the worst place ever, but Hawks took the dub, so I'm so happy we won.
It was not very fun. Were you actually at the game, or did you just tailgate?
We didn't get to go into the game, but we watched it on laptop, and it was awesome.
I also did not go to the game. But so on a scale of 1 to 10, how cool is Ames?
0. I don't like Ames. Ames is awful. Iowa City all the way.
So compared to Ames, would you say Iowa City is a 10?
10. Iowa City is awesome compared to Ames.
11 out of 10.
Ames is awful.
All right, one final question. Who is your favorite player for the Iowa Hawkeyes right now?
Nate Stanley, the quarterback. Stanley all the way. He's the best quarterback in the nation. Baby.
All right, thank you for your input. It was nice talking to you, ladies.
Thank you for staying tuned to the Hawkeye Tailgate Report with a couple more Hawkeye fans. What's your names?
My name is Trout.
Jamie.
All right, thanks for joining me. So, Hawkeyes coming in 2-0 after a great win against Iowa State. What'd you think about that game?
Woohoo! A little worried, but I didn't yell at the TV too much.
I certainly did a lot of that. How about you?
It was a good game. I was at Ames for it. I lost my voice.
All right, so what do you think of the team so far this season?
Pretty good. I'm impressed with Stanley a lot.
Yeah, he's done a great
and
job.
They're going to the tight ends a lot, so
that's really good to see. That's the Iowa football right there. Run the ball and tight ends.
Yep.
But you bring up Stanley. There's one quarterback in the history of Iowa football to throw 8 touchdowns in his first 2 games, aside from Stanley. Who is it?
It was on TV last week. Number 12.
No, you're thinking of Ricky Stanzi. Ricky Stanzi threw 3 touchdowns in his first game, and Stanley was the only other quarterback to do
Chuck Long then?
Yep, Chuck Long is what we were looking for.
Okay.
That's our first guess, but we were just like asking him. Like,
yeah.
That was a different question than they had on the. Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, no. Nathan Stanley and Ricky Stanzi are the only Iowa quarterbacks to throw 3 touchdowns in their first start. That's what you're thinking of.
Okay.
That's what you're thinking of.
Okay.
But what do you think of the prediction for today's game?
What is the prediction? I didn't see the paper yet. It's got to be 21 points, right?
I don't know. It's up to you. I've heard somebody said 62-0 before. That's a lot.
No.
That's a lot. I wouldn't do that.
Well, I know if we score 40, we're going to back them down. So 42-7. I agree.
42-7. All right. I like that outcome. So what's going on at your tailgate today?
Okay. These guys here, there's like 4 or 5 of us that are together, and we always park. 4. Yeah. So we have tailgate. We have passes to get in here. So.
All right. Now.
We're always in here.
Now it's.
She joined.
Yeah.
Now it's pretty hot out today, especially for later in September.
And in overalls.
So do you think that's going to affect the Hawkeyes and the drinking game out here today?
It's gonna. It might affect that other team because they might want to not show up.
All right.
But we got to show up and drink more beer.
Absolutely. That's where beer is our friend today.
Beer is our friend.
Fist in it. There you go.
Yep. We have one more question for you,
Sure.
And if you get it, my partners here have a free PBR for you.
Okay. Great.
So
it better not be warm. Better than
no, it's not pretty. It's like average.
Better than Old English. Oh yeah.
You wanna talk about that quick?
Yeah, we do. My brother-in-law's, and that's one of his sons.
Okay.
There's like 6 of us. What used to be 7 or 8 of us, but 6 of us are going this year. We go to a away game every year, one a game. one a year, and this year we're going to Michigan State.
All right.
And I've
all
been
right.
there 2 or 3 times already, but
I'm thinking about going to the Wisconsin game myself, but
I've been
it's
asked
always
to go there, but I've been
They
there.
have a camper and a whole Hawkeye doll. Don't forget about the doll thing.
We do have
Yeah.
a mannequin that comes with
Yeah.
us on the way trips.
Hey,
And
We'll
it's
leave it at that, but it's weird.
it seems a little weird, but I'm not going to judge.
You have seen Heavy, Jamie. Yes.
All right.
So anyway,
So the question we have for you for the free PBR
Okay.
is who is Iowa's all-time leader in receptions?
in receptions,
Just receptions, not receiving yards, not receiving touchdowns.
what about number 6, Tim Dwight?
It's just a PBR.
Huh? What? I can't hear you.
I'll give you a hint. I'll
Number 11.
I'll give you a hint. Number 11.
Tinkle.
Oh, tough blow. Martin Manley.
Martin Manley.
Is what we were looking for.
Well, you
This
didn't
guy-
tell me.
Hey, excuse me. What's your name, sir?
Larry.
Congrats on the free beer.
Thank you. If you don't drink it, I'll drink it. Little PB.
All right. Well, guys, thanks
Hey.
for joining me. Go Hawks.
Are you coming to every tailgate?
Every home one.
Okay.
All right, next up on the Hawkeye Tailgate Report, what's your name?
Pete Grieco.
Well, where are you from, Pete?
I'm originally from Owine, Iowa.
Owine, Iowa, good old Eastern Iowa. But here to talk about the Hawkeyes, what do you think of the season so far?
Actually, I'm quite impressed. With the young team we have, I thought, we're doing pretty good.
This was one of those seasons where we came in and people kind of didn't think a lot of us. They kind of didn't think we'd be too great, but they're looking pretty sharp so far.
I didn't like the way they picked us to end up in 7th place in the Big Ten.
Yeah, that's
a low blow, I thought.
I would never pick against Kirk Ferentz. He always has his teams ready to play.
And we always do better when they don't expect us to do anything.
Absolutely, absolutely. So they got North Texas today. What do you think's going to happen?
I think we're going to cover the spread pretty easily. Our defense is going to wake up today. They had a rude awakening last week.
Yeah, that Iowa State game was a little scary.
I tell you what, though, Iowa State is a lot better this year. I was here for the last year when they got smoked 43-3, was it?
42-3, yep.
Close enough.
Yeah, you're close. But what for the season? We've had a lot of. I've asked predictions on season records, and a lot of people are saying like 7, 8 wins. What do you think?
I think 8.
8 wins? Is that including a bowl game win?
No, I think we're going to be 9 with the bowl.
Absolutely, that's what I like to hear. But thanks for your time, and go Hawks today.
Thank you very much.
Next up on the Hawkeye Tailgate Report is my partner in crime for this, Joey Meyers. How you doing, Joe?
Oh, I'm doing good, Luke. How about you?
I'm doing fine. So what do you think of the Hawks this season?
I think the Hawks are like the best team in the nation. They also have the best quarterback because Nathan Stanley, let me tell you, I was walking out of class this week, and Nathan Stanley holds the door for me. I've never seen him in my life, and the kid holds the door for me. What a guy. He's just a dude.
Yeah, that good old Iowa attitude right there.
I agree, yes.
So Iowa got North Texas today, Penn State next week. What are you thinking for today's game?
Well, last time we played North Texas, correct me if I'm wrong, but we beat them 62-10, right?
62-16 was the final score.
All right, I'm going 70-10 this time.
That is an outrageous score, and I love it. I love it. So I know you're not doing much for tailgating today, but you're walking around with me. How's that going?
It's all right. I've had better.
It is, but it's pretty freaking hot out here today.
It's about 90 degrees. Yes, you're right. I'm hot. My back is sweating.
All right, and now you are the guy that's been handing out the PBR to the people who get the trivia question right today. Would you still like a trivia question, though?
I'll take a trivia, and if I get it right, I will take a beer also.
Well, it's your beer. This is a softball question we got coming here for you. I believe only one stadium in the nation is named after a former Heisman Trophy winner. Who is it?
Georgia Tech.
No, that's not true at all. You want to take a second guess?
Alabama Tech.
It is Niall Kinnick Stadium right here in Iowa City. Hawkeyes versus North Texas coming up today.
I thought you meant one other besides Kinnick.
No, it's Kinnick.
Oh, okay. Hey. Go Hawks.
Next up on the Hawkeye Tailgate Report, we got Richard Specht, owner and operator of Timberline, and Mr. Scott Kronlage. How are you guys doing today?
Top shelf, yourself? Doing awesome.
Always a great day when Iowa football's in the air.
Reverend. Absolutely.
All right, so you guys have been coming here for years. Can you talk about your tailgate a little bit?
Well, we've got the world's best taco dip, Adam Fern's world best taco dip. I mean, he's been trying. Yeah, there you go, right there. Oh, he's been trying to push this off to I don't know how many girls around here at this tailgate and they're just passing. I don't know, they're missing out on something.
I had some. It's pretty darn good. But okay, Hawkeye football starting 2-0. Game against Iowa State last weekend. What'd you think about it?
Well, I think we actually did what we were supposed to do. I mean, the defense didn't look that great, but they showed up when they had to. And Nathan Stanley, top shelf.
Well, I was pretty impressed with the wide receiver action. I'm calling him ISM right now, Amir, but that was a pleasant surprise to see the wide receivers come through and make some plays.
Now, do you guys think Nathan Stanley is the real deal?
I do. I believe in Nathan Stanley.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now, I have a question for you guys. I've asked it to a couple Hawkeye fans this morning. There's only one other Iowa quarterback in the history of the program to throw 8 touchdowns in his first 2 games. Who is he?
Scott Kronlage?
Drew Tate.
We are looking for Mr. Chuck Long. Mr. Chuck Long had 8 touchdowns in his first 2 games as a Hawkeye. Any comments on your wrong answers there?
Well, who the hell knows who Chuck Long is?
Have you seen Scott Kronlage throw the ball?
Like a mile.
He's pretty good.
All right, I'll give you one more question here, and then we'll wrap this up. Who is Iowa's all-time leader in receptions? Not receiving touchdowns, not receiving yards, receptions. If you need a hint, I'll grant it.
Reggie McDermott.
I got to be Adam Fern.
Oh, no, it is neither of those. Would you guys like a hint? Nope. No. He's leader in touchdowns, not receptions. His number was 11.
Bill Urban.
Bill Urban was number 11.
He was, but would you like to spit out an answer?
It's got to be
Al Heiberger? No.
He played within the last 7 years.
As soon as they graduate, I kind of forget about him.
Martin Manley?
Play for the Mike.
Cavante Martin Manley is correct, all-time leader in receptions. But one last word. Iowa's record this season, they're 2-0. What are they going to do?
8-4.
6-6.
All right. Not a great prediction right there, but thanks for your time, guys, and go Hawks.
And now we look ahead to this week's game against Penn State. On the last 10 competitions between these two teams, Iowa has won 6 of them, but that dates all the way back to 2002. The last 3 have been won by Penn State, including the 41-14 massacre last year in Happy Valley. Iowa just looked dull. It ended up they'd come back the next week and beat the number 3 Michigan Wolverines. Don't know how they did that, but this is usually a pretty tight rivalry. And the highlight for this week, obviously, it's going to be Saquon Barkley and Akram Wadley. That's going to be what everybody is talking about. Barkley on the season has 307 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground and 241 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns, where Wadley has 258 yards rushing and 1 touchdown, and through the area has 152 yards receiving and 1 touchdown. Some people should probably argue it could be 2, if not for a iffy officiating call. But this is going to be a very important game. It's a statement game. Iowa has maybe the toughest schedule in the Big Ten this year, with Ohio State, Penn State, and Wisconsin, all 3 of those teams being in the top 10 in the AP poll right now. But Hawk fans, let's show up. We have the stripes going for each section this week. So gold and black, make sure you check that out. It will be on our Twitter page here. I'll put it up shortly. But check that out. Make sure you're wearing the right colors. This game's on ABC at 6:30. So let's make a statement. Let's go get this game. And thanks for listening, and go Hawks.